The creation of President Donald Trump's so-called Board of Peace raises an unavoidable question. Is this a genuine attempt at conflict resolution or a deliberate effort to sideline the United Nations and weaken the multilateral system that has governed global diplomacy since World War II?
Board of Peace. This is a board like no other. It will have the heads of major countries.
Trump has long expressed disdain for institutions he does not control, from the UN and NATO to the World Trade Organization. The Board of Peace appears to fit that pattern neatly. Rather than reforming existing global mechanisms, the initiative creates a parallel structure anchored in US power, US priorities, and ultimately US discretion. Peace in this model is no longer negotiated through inclusive forums or international law, but brokered through ad hoc deals overseen by Washington. That is not multilateralism. It is hierarchy dressed up as diplomacy. And in this new body Trump has set in motion, he is the big boss. Trump is the chair for life of this Board of Peace, or as some are calling it, Trump's United Nations. Others in this include Marco Rubio, US Secretary of State. Then there's Steve Witkoff, Trump's friend and special envoy to the Middle East. Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. UK's ex-Prime Minister Tony Blair, Mark Rowan, billionaire and US financier. Ajay Banga, World Bank President. Robert Gabriel, loyal Trump aide on the NSC. This Board of Peace will oversee a national committee for the administration of Gaza. Trump has invited leaders of 60 nations to join this Board of Peace initiative. Nations will have a 3-year term, and if they want a permanent seat, they have to pay up $1 billion. Hungary, run by Trump ally Viktor Orban, is the first to confirm his intention of joining in. Other countries have been more cautious in their approach and response to Trump's invite. India is also among nations invited to join this Board of Peace body. Supporters frame the board as a pragmatic alternative to what Trump often calls talk shops, institutions that debate endlessly but fail to stop wars. Yet the danger lies precisely there. The UN's slow, consensus-driven processes are designed to prevent unilateral coercion. Trump's approach flips that logic on its head. Speed and decisiveness over legitimacy, leverage over law. In doing so, it risks normalizing a world where peace is imposed by power rather than built through collective agreement. And here's the irony. Trump got the UN Security Council to endorse his 20-point peace plan for Gaza.
I think this is a trap that the Trump administration laid for the international community, and they fell into it. I mean, let's not forget that the Security Council endorsed the Trump 20-point plan, including the Board of Peace, despite the fact that it circumvented existing multilateral organizations like the Security Council itself and the General Assembly. And you know what we know about the Trump administration's hostility toward these institutions.
This raises another uncomfortable reality. Participation appears conditional on political alignment. Nations that challenge US positions on Israel, Gaza, Ukraine, Iran, or China may find themselves excluded, marginalized, or pressured to conform. Peace in this structure becomes transactional. Support the framework, gain influence. Resist it, and risk isolation. More broadly, the Board of Peace reflects Trump's worldview. A skepticism of rules, a preference for bilateral deals, and a belief that institutions matter only insofar as they serve American interests. But history offers a warning. Parallel systems do not replace global institutions, they fracture them. Weakening the UN does not eliminate conflict. It removes one of the few arenas where rivals can still talk.
The board itself, the structure that's been put in place, this two-tiered board of exclusively foreigners with no Palestinians involved. In fact, the first tier is almost entirely made up of Americans, plus Tony Blair, and includes the World Bank president. And then there's this second tier that includes regional stakeholders and others, but also no Palestinians. It's really only the technical committee in which that is made up of Palestinian technocrats that obviously has a Palestinian identity and role, but we don't know what the relationship will be. Will between the broader foreign entity of the Board of Peace and the Palestinian Technical Committee.
If the Board of Peace becomes a substitute for multilateral diplomacy rather than a complement to it, the consequences could be severe. Small nations lose voice, international law loses relevance, and peace itself risks becoming selective, delivered where it suits the powerful and withheld where it does not. For more such stories, subscribe to SNG News, hit the like button and follow for more news updates.